some people have touched already, Angel has touched on the arts and cultural office. We're going to ask everybody, you know, their plans. Do you plan to keep the department and follow through on the Creative Providence plan? It's again, you know, we want to try to keep the answers relatively simple, but everyone should get a shot at it. Stephen.
Thank you. Yes, I believe it's absolutely necessary to have that office in any city government. Because it's such a vibrant part of this community, and it's part of our diversity. It's always been part of our history, and I definitely believe that. And in fact, I'd like to expand its role in terms of really being the center coordinating entity of the city. I believe much of what happens in the city. I'll tell you. I don't want to hear that Providence is #2 to any community, whether it's Pawtucket, our friends in Pawtucket, or not. And we may not have one festival, but we have a festival every single night. And that's important. And I want to keep that activity going. It's extremely, extremely important that we do that. And I think there was a second part of that.
No, well, it's the Creative Providence plan.
Yeah, I believe that there's a plan. I mean, plans can be altered, and issues can. I would hope that there'd be more in terms of collaboration with arts organizations. I would love to see that inserted into the plan because I think it's critical at this time in the economy and Providence's history.
Would you? So, are you saying that you would advocate for moving the department out of being a discretionary part of the mayor's budget into a permanent department?
Yes, I think it needs more presence, and I think we've done at the state level. We've joined more agencies with RISCA. We've put more money under RISCA. So I think there has to be a sense of place in terms of government as much as we require a sense of place with our citizens as it relates to art.
Oh, I mean, thank you. And you know, I did talk about it earlier, and as I said, that's part one of our plan is to make it permanent. We think it's very important, and I thank all the people who worked on the committee and Jason for leading that committee and helping us. I think that the cultural plan, which was just issued in June 2009, is an example of what's possible here in the city. The great collaboration that we have from the people who were involved with it. It's a good plan, and we have to work diligently to make sure that it's implemented. And it's all about our priorities and making sure that we recognize the economic impact of the arts, and how important it is to our city and to our culture overall.
Yeah, of course they're going to do it, sure. Make it permanent. We have a $1.2 billion pension liability. The city's almost bankrupt. These guys won't say that they're going to tax Brown University. They won't directly tax them. They're talking about getting a payment in lieu of taxation. By taxing them, we'll generate the revenue that we could fund programs like this and make them permanent. But they won't say that. They won't say anything real. They won't make their positions clear. It's all a bunch of words, like I said, you know. So you can believe these words. I remember last time I was in this forum, I was not invited to it. Another candidate told me about it. I came up on this stage, I had to set up my own table and chair. I stood up on the stage for half an hour before I went behind the curtain here, this very curtain, and I pulled out a table and chair of my own, and I set it up. And I told people in the audience then, I said, they're lying to you, they're not gonna help you. And what did they do? They kicked 300 artists out in Oneyville in an art complex there the very next year in the middle of winter. And yeah, I turned the table over on this stage. I won't do it tonight, guys, okay? So these guys are all sitting at it, but maybe they can arrange something. But the reality is that these guys are not going to help you, and I will. I'm an artist I care about the arts community. I think that it can generate revenue for the city of Providence. I will fund this program. I will make it permanent, but I will fund it by taxing Brown University. And they will not, and they don't have the ability to generate the revenue any other way.
I would keep the Arts and Tourism Board within the mayor's office. I wouldn't expand it right now in terms of, I would make it a permanent part of the mayor's office. It's another thing that came out of that 2003 report, which Florida did, a group called Catalytics that was brought in to do some consulting at a high cost. They've had some successes, there's no question. And there are there have been some failures too. There have been some things that, sound sessions is one of my favorite all-time events in Providence. I love it, but it's lost some money. And so there are some things that we can do better. There's some things that we can kind of bring about and create a more streamlined process. But I would certainly make it permanent, and I would certainly keep it within the mayor's office.
Yes, I would certainly support it, make it permanent, but it's actually, I would go one step further. The Providence City Charter, I would ask for a charter amendment, have the voters yourselves, obviously, this is a very important issue. Make this part of the charter. This way it really has a permanent place, and the only way it would be removed is if it was back on before the voters. So I think it's very important. It's a creative economy, obviously, and we need to find innovative ways to approach and support this creative economy of the city. And if the mayor doesn't, this is about leadership again. If the mayor truly wants to do it, he needs to do it. And he needs to make sure that the people that he hires are basically regurgitating his support for the arts. So again, this is a management style. Thank you.